to your traffic. Okay. So now let me show you uh, VPC in AWS, how it looks. Okay. For example, now I'm already in the one of my AWS account. So let's suppose I'm in the Mumbai region, which is called AP South one. So if I click on Mumbai region, what are the reasons? So this, whatever I'm telling is applicable for all the regions. Okay, don't think like this is applicable if only for the Mumbai region. Even if you go for central, even there also it looks the similar. Okay, but the zones of that particular regions might have less or high. Okay, so in Mumbai region we have three zones. Okay, for example, to check that, just click on type the VPC, click on VPC. Okay, so you can see here uh, what are the current VPCs that are present in the system. How many subnets are there? How many routes are there? Okay, how many internet gateways are there? Um, what is the security group and CLS VPC peering 9, 10 point nothing. You can see the count here. Okay. Now we are just learning the basics. Just see, you can go click here VPC or you can click your VPC. So as I told, whenever you create a AWS and if you activate your account, you'll be having one default VPC. If I click here, I can see the details of that particular VPC. If you see source map, the VPC is created, three subnets are there in that particular VPC, and we have one route, one routing table, and the one internet gateway to that particular VPC. Okay. So how this is happening? How you know this subnet is only belongs to this VPC? So for example, how you are saying the route or belongs to why this route, let's say if you click why the traffic is showing like this. So there is something mechanism back and I'll show you now. Now I just clicked on subnet. While by default, when the account is created, this subnet is mapped to this VPC. If the ID of this VPC is changed here, then automatically this subnet sits in the that particular VPC. Okay. So I told because it have three regions, you have three zones, it have three subnets, one per each. See here, this subnet is sitting in the 1A. If you see this subnet is sitting in 1C. If you see this subnet sitting in 1P. So in the region of South, in the region of Mumbai, AP South 1 have three regions and they have three subnets by default and it's all 1A, 1B, 1C. Okay. Now coming to the route. As I told, how we say that this route table is attached to this particular VPC is because while creating the route table, we have VPC. This route is created for this VPC. That's the reason we are saying in that particular VPC resource name. Let's suppose if you see how the subnets are there. If you see it have three subnets associated here. Dot explain. So for example, uh, so that's the reason you are seeing these three subnets there. Let's say edit subnet association, click all, save. Let's say explicitly I said, okay, these things go here. Now if you see the map of your resource map, okay, so these subnets are now associated with this particular subnet. Otherwise, it is not. Okay, now ignore all this thing. The second thing is routes. We'll touch this when our future classes based on the topic that we cover. As of now, I'm focusing only on the routes in the route table. Let's say if you see here, I have two routes are defined for this particular VPC by default. Okay. So what it means that what are the traffic by ignoring this thing should route to the internet gateway, and current status is active. I mean that is working, and this is route origin is created. So this is created. Okay. Now for example, this is going to the internet. What are the traffic? Okay, I didn't talk about the IP address. I'll come there. I'll tell this now. So this all having three subnets. Okay, three subnets are there in this route. That's the reason you are saying, because the traffic it is directing from this destination to this target. You are saying this internet gateway. Okay, this is the thing. If you see this here, this is the internet gateway, and it is status is attached. It's showing attached to the VPC. Okay, these are the very basic things that I am telling now, which is there by default. Now, how you know how to see what to see, right? Let's dig into the IP address, then we'll create our own VPC. I'll tell you why we'll create our own VPC instead of using the default VPC. Okay. See here, there is a IP address given, which is 172.130.0.0/16. What it mean? Because it's a /16, these two are constant, this two remains change. Correct. So now, if you see the IP addresses of your subnets, I don't know whether I can see or not here. Okay. So 172.31, these two remains same for all of these three subnets. Let me open in the new tab. See, these first two bits are remain. These first two bytes are remaining constant, right? 172.31 is constant. And you see here /20 they used instead of slash PPC they use /16. Observe here they're using /20, right? Mean the number of IP addresses are decreased and shared among three subnets. Okay. So this is region 1B having 172.31.0.0. This is the first IP address. So they have 4091 IP addresses. And we are utilized by AWS to recognize this subnet. They might use one IP address, one for the broadcast, as I told in CIDRs. So now let's see. Whatever the resource that you provision under this resource will take the free IP address of this region and this range. Or you can specify the free IP address by you yourself, which is available only in this specific range. Okay, it's not any other thing. For example, if you thought IP addresses exhausted, create one more subnet and put it in the same zone and use that IP address. Okay, and that is a bit very hectic job. So make sure you know the proper arc before creating the dividing the IP addresses. How much IP addresses is you need that particular zone, because you might not create 4,000 resources in this particular region. So mostly it will be enough. Okay. So now, as I told, what are the traffic that comes in this route table? If you see, they are telling the VPCs whatever the traffic that they're happening in this particular IP address should be inside your VPC only. Okay. So why? Because the IP is already there in that particular VPC. So first go and find that. The rest traffic should coming as let's say any apart from this range, any other traffic is requested. Let's say www.google.com. The DNS of google.com is different. It's not matching with your local. So the destination is matches to this thing and it will pass to the internet gateway, which is door to the outside world, right? The same way. And that is the use of route table. Okay, let's go and create one VPC. Uh, we can okay. I explained in Mumbai region, right? Let me create VPC in the Northwood area where it have six zones, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Uh, Here also see you have default VPC. You have you know default subnets. It have six, right? One, two, three, four, five, six. So it have six zones. So this is the first region from AWS that they created. So whatever they do, they first create here. Okay, that is a better technology station and do it. But what are the new update latest update comes to this particular region immediately? But now they have to do so they'll do it for everything. Even if you see here, it have route. What are default IP address of this particular VPCs inside this only, and the traffic goes to this one. Now we should have one route, right? Even for because even this IP address they are using in the North Virginia region, they're having the same IP address in Mumbai region. How come that possible? Because you know this is not public IP address. That's a private IP address. So remember, as I told in our previous example, we'll be having your own Wi-Fi. Your neighbor also having your own Wi-Fi. So what are that is there in particular devices attached to my neighbor's phone is having this public IP address. For me, also have my own public IP address. Whenever the traffic come required, it will map your public IP address with your private IP address with your public, and it will send the traffic. Okay, so that's how. So that's the reason. These are only for this reason. The traffic is not going anywhere out of this VPC because that is its own home. So the Mumbai is its own home. So this feels like I'm exist only here. Mumbai IP address feels like that he exists only there, right? Similarly, this is not unique across the world. Okay, this is unique across ER network in the private network. ER network is a private network, but you cannot use the public IP address anywhere in the world. Only once it is used, it's used, right? As I told. So that's the same way. Now we'll create one VPC here. How you do create? So same way. Make sure you stick to the proper region. Go for select type VPC and click that. Then you'll get this dashboard. Your VPC, create VPC. Okay. So now there is a two ways these guys are telling. One is to create only VPC and you have to create the subnets later. Here you can create a VPC, you can create a subnet. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'll zoom it again. So you can when you select the more option, you can see you are creating a VPC. Along with VPC, you are creating a subnet. See, you are creating one public. Okay, this yeah, I'll let you know in further classes. Rise up now. I'll put one subnet in one VPC and I'll put zero public. One private subnet is enough. No NAT gateway is required. No VPC endpoint is required. Okay. Hmm. So, how many available zones I need? I need three. I can use more than three also. But yeah, I can use number of private subnets, six. Okay, but thing is, I should be able to use. Okay, there is something happened. So B and C is down. Not B and C is down. They are already selected here. But what is the number of available positions available? At least two available positions for high availability.